I'm MolluskMoth and this is my ESA 2017 submission. So before the run we go into Kaitak Day and we set up what's known as Kaitak/Cake Skip. I will explain this better when we get into the run, but for now we're just going to set it up before the run itself.
I select the floor and operate this elevator with my mind.
Now the clip that you'll see after this with the actual run is from my personal best of 17 minutes and 27 seconds.
Sorry, Polly, change your plans.
Now you'll see an effect when we get into game, and that's from the tape room in Soviet consulate. When you enter this, it will do this pixelated look, and this carries over when you reset in this state. So now we're going to do one of the newest skips that we have found, and this is called Direct Skip. We get out of bounds by jumping onto these cables, and we get out of bounds and we jump completely out the map. The missional is under the map for use later, and we grab that and this will start the mission. So now this is the Jazzpunk cutscene. We save and load to skip this. And now we're in the first level, Soviet consulate. We're going to go to the clock and set it to 12 o'clock to make the lift that we just walked past go down, so that we can enter the building. So we've changed it to 12 o'clock. We're going to save and load to stop the cutscene that plays after this. And we're going to go onto the lift, press the button, and save and load to skip the lift ride. So now we're at the top, and we're going to go into the building and go into the tape room. And we're going to enter the phone and get the whistle out of the serial box. So we use it, and we enter the 0 on the phone, we get the tape, and we leave. We grab this painting, and then we use that retinal scanner to open the door. So we run out of here, and we jump just before we slip over, and we go through the garbage chute. So this is Koi Pond. This is one of the shortest levels. You just chuck a couple of bits of bread. That's it. So now we're in the mission briefing, and this is what the Director Skip skips. It skips the first one of this. And this saves about 10 to 20, 20 to 30 seconds. So now we're going to jump out the chair and grab the missional. And this loads the level. That's basically the same that was done for Director Skip, just it's in the level this time. So now we're in the next level, and we're going to save and load to skip this cutscene. And we're basically just going to run to the Golden Lucky Squid, a restaurant. There isn't too much in the way of new strats for this level, except for we do stand on a conveyor belt. And this puts us towards closer to the bathroom when we regain control after a cutscene. We're unable to skip the cutscene at this time, but it does help shorten the travel time. So we're just going to throw the shoes at the lady here, and we're going to grab the jar to get the spiders. This is used to gain entrance to the kitchen. So we need to grab 5 spiders, and they're all in this main room here. And we're going to throw it at the chef here. We're going to grab the fish, and we're going to put the poison onto the sushi and stand on the conveyor belt. Even in this cutscene, the conveyor belt is still moving us, so we will end up towards the end where the cowboy is when the cutscene ends. So now he's eating the sushi and he's going to feel sick, so he's going to go to the bathroom. And this is where we can collect the artificial kidney. So the artificial kidney's there, we pick it up and we begin to run away. Now that we've left the restaurant, we now see that there's some guards at the end there. They want us to hand over the kidney, but we don't give it to them. So we knock them out of the way, or we run away. There isn't too much in the way of new strats here, so it is basically just completing the rest of the level as fast as possible. Now, the next level we're going to come up to is the temple. There isn't too much in the way of strats, except for what you saw there, where we could light the candle through the wall. Basically, this is just doing it as quickly as you can.
Yeah, it is, man. This is exciting.
Okay, so now we're back in here, but there is no missional to take. This is basically just a cutscene.
Yeah, there's a bunch of strats coming in from here, there, and everywhere, man. Some of them are a little bit more conventional than others, but... Oh, God.
Now we're coming up to the next level. There is no strats here, except for we just have to get to the Kaitak resort on the map. That's easy enough. Now this is the level that we set up the cake skip. So now we're going to run to the cake, and this will save our last position. When we save and load, we will teleport to this. So what the phone does is I believe that it sets the cutscene off to spawn the editor. So the game still thinks that we've used the phone, so we just have to grab the briefcase that's in the room. Then we will save and load, and we will teleport to that cake, which is very close to the editor. So we're going into the room, we're going to grab the briefcase, and we're going to save and load. And it puts us right back in the room next to the editor. So we sit down, swap the briefcases, and we swipe his card away. And then the lady's going to come and give us a drink. So we wait for her to finish speaking, and then we take the drink. And then we jump out the chair, and we leave the building. This is on a timer. The drink is spiked, so we will pass out. I leave the building, but it is on a timer, so it doesn't really matter.
God, that timing.
So now it does this little cutscene, which we can't skip.
You caught me just
But we
right
will skip the
time.
next cutscene when we're in the chair and we're waking up.
Actually, this run and talk on the phone at the same time. He was like, "What are you doing this evening?" "I'm currently speed running."
So now we're loading a waking up cutscene. We're waking up. We're going to skip that by saving and loading again. Saving and loading skips most of the cutscenes in this game. So we've left the building and we're going to go to the pool round the back. This is where the crazy guy lives, which tells us a way to escape Kaitak. He does speak a lot, and there is no way to currently skip this. We are working on a method to skip this currently. The ukulele that he gives us at the end of this cutscene is under the pool. We know a way to clip out of Kaitak, but the ukulele is too high up for us to grab at the moment, and we are working to find a strat to get the ukulele to skip this, and this will save about a minute or so, I reckon. So there is lots of talking in this.
I can't find
There
it.
isn't any way to really skip it, as I just mentioned.
It's like Jazzpunk's gonna be so short once we get rid of this bit. Yeah. How you doing, Butts? I'm not sure if I said that or not. And no, that wasn't the kill theme. What are you talking about? That wasn't. No.
So now he's telling us we need to kill and cook the mechanical ball, and he's about to give us the ukulele. We grab the ukulele, and then it teleports us out front of Kaitak. So now we're going to find the mechanical ball, which is usually on the same path. So we're going to hit it, pick him up, and we're going to take him over to the fire. We're going to put him on the stick, and we're going to swirl him around, which opens the clam. We're going to jump in, and it will load the next level Wetworks. There isn't too much in the way of strats for this, except for some of these pipes do have doors on them, which we can jump over. I'm unsuccessful in my PB, so we just shake the moth away and it will open. This unfortunately does kill bit rates of streams, but it is only a small part of the game. As you can see by the video, it is just killing my timer and everything. It's destroying the bit rate. But it doesn't add any extra buffer to the streams. It just makes it look bad. Okay, so we're finishing up here. Here's an extra door, which we can strafe around, just like that.
Perfect Wetworks, but it was pretty good by my standards.
And then we're gonna spill the coffee over the computer here. In this video, it wasn't a perfect Wetworks, but it was a pretty good one. Okay, so now we're in the second part of Darlington Station. We're going to go back into the office to find the director and secretary have been kidnapped by the editor, and he wants us to meet him.
Congrats on 17-2. You need to calm the hell down.
Again, there isn't any gameplay here, it's just a cutscene that we haven't been able to skip yet. But again, we are working to try and skip these unnecessary cutscenes. Unnecessary in running terms. Okay, so now we're going to the bachelor pad. We're in another lift, so we're just going to save and load to skip the lift ride.
Holy hell, I thought it softened.
Now, once we're here, we're going to run to the front door of the apartment and wait for the robot to open the door. He thinks we're an exterminator, so he's going to let us right in. Now, there are activities around to save the director, but we're just going to grab the remote.
But it was close though.
And we're going to free him this way.
If you didn't get the mission or like.
And now we're going to be in a cutscene. This level does have a lot of cutscenes and is a lot of waiting. Well, again, we are working to try and skip this, but saving and loading just soft locks the game and puts you at the beginning of the level again.
But now any slight error is instant reset. Yeah.
Now challenging us to different games of sport. The first one, it teleports us outside to mini golf. This is all skill based, there is no strats. And the editor always goes first on the mini golf. So it is just a lot of waiting, playing on this level, unfortunately.
I'd race you for. We all know who's gonna get that out of us two, Momo. It's gonna be you easily. You're like the grandfather of Jazzpunk speedruns. Oh my god. Time for golf with friends, Paul.
Again, the editor goes first. Lots of waiting, going, and waiting.
Are you also drinking tonight? Nice. Oh, no, I thought it was going to be a hole in one then. Oh my god, really? So many jazz runners, yeah. Yeah, the grind is real, like.
And this is the last mini golf section. So now we finish this, we're going to go up these stairs to the carts. We can pick any of these 3 carts, so this could possibly be donation incentives to pick a colour. So we got to wait for the editor to come up to tell us to pick a cart before we can get into them. So we're going to get into the cart and we're going to go to the next area. We're not going to follow the editor, we're just going to race ahead of him. So once we leave the cart, we're going to go to the gravy packet and fill this lake with gravy. And then we're going to pick up the controller and we're going to start Gravy Race 64. Again, there are no strats for this, it's just doing it as fast as you can without bumping off of any of the walls or missing the ramp or losing control on the ramp. Unfortunately, I do hit the walls here and lose a bit of control, but it's easy enough to regain control again. And I'm still ahead of the editor, so I'm still going to win this. It doesn't matter if you win or lose in these games.
I don't know what it is, it's just so different compared to the rest of the run, it's great.
So now that we've finished it, we're going to go back into the cart and we are going to go to the last game. which is basically virtual reality tennis. So we're gonna wait for the editor to turn back around and walk to his cart, and we can basically steal his. So now we're gonna go to the tennis court. I've just spun around there just to slow down this cutscene a bit. So we're gonna go over to the Virtual Boy like consoles, and we're gonna wait for the editor to catch up. He does teleport. It's not like we've raced ahead of him. So there he is, and he's gonna put his headset on. We're gonna put ours. We're gonna skip this text, and we don't actually have to play the game. We can just grab the chair from the sidelines and hit it. And hit him with it, and that skips the tennis bit. So now he's cheating and he's saying he's won. So we're gonna grab his trophies, ribbons, bandanas, trophies, everything that a winning person needs. So medals, tiaras, wrestling belts.
Oh, I missed the jar. Whoa, hello.
And basically he gets really inflated by this.
Oh no.
So we're just going to give him all the items that we picked up, and then we're going to burst him. So once we burst him, we're going to wait for the save the director text to come up, and then we're going to save and load back to the start of the level again. This is the easiest way and the quickest way to go back to the director. The panel's going to have 2 buttons. We pick the red button because it's ever so slightly faster. And he's going to turn into a crocodile, and he's going to speak to us. And we're going to go into his mouth. So now we're on the last level of the game. The credits. There are no strats in this, it's just a walking bit where names come up. There is a jungle later on in his stomach that we chop down, but that's about it.
Yeah. 1735 is the best what works. Yeah.
This is the jungle, we just spam click to get rid of these trees so we don't collide against them and slow down.
I don't know what the hell happened in Bachelor Pad because that felt almost perfect.
I also apologize about the video being so quiet.
Me, anyway.
So now we're about to enter the last room of the game. We activate this tape recording, and the last set of mission orders in here. So the director saying how he's apologized, how he's eaten us, and in the off chance that he ever does get turned into a alligator, that this missional will help you escape. So we can grab the missional ever so slightly early before the machine puts it on the table, like now. And when we take those pills, that is time.
Wait, what?
World record for this is currently 1652. I would, if possible, like to do a race with MolluskMoth. I believe this is how you pronounce his name, or Momo, as he's otherwise known as. If that's not possible, then a solo run of any % current patch would be great. Thank you for taking the time to watch the submission. I'm Useless Brit, so thank you.